Okay.
Do that. Okay, so welcome everyone to Cosmic Rose Honey May 8th. So we'll open up our session today with some Q&A. Any questions you have pertaining to your Kundalini awakening journey, your healing journey. I know, Fella, you have a question, so ask away. Let me know what is coming up.
Yeah, so I'm in Kundalini process for almost like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed at the beginning, my careers were just like random, disgraceful, not just here and there. They have no sense. But what I have noticed lately, like recently, they have
Mm-hmm.
become like beautiful, graceful, good to
Oh.
see. I enjoy it as if I'm dancing without me planning that. I would love to know what's the meaning of that.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
very great question. So essentially, I think we talked about this a little bit last time as well, right? So essentially in the Kundalini awakening process, as the spontaneous kriyas initially arise, a lot of them in the beginning are a bit more sporadic. It's a bit more jerking and shaking as the body is given the space the first time perhaps ever in releasing repressed emotions, traumas, and pain. So in the beginning, there's maybe a lot of shaking, a lot of jerking. Like you said, the movements may not necessarily be as graceful. However, those movements are really important because what's happening is that the energy is clearing the space and transmuting the stuck energy back into free flowing prana so that there is space inside your body, inside of your vessel for grace to come through. Now, with time, as you're noticing right now on your journey, as a lot of these energetic densities have been transmuted, there is spaciousness in your body, in your vessel, in your energetic body, in your physical body, that you can almost imagine yourself as like this container that now has more room for the Divine Mother to come through. And so the more graceful movements in and of themselves, I don't think necessarily have like a particular meaning in terms of like, oh, I move my hands like this, so it means that, or I move my hands like that, so that means that. But it's more of a multi-dimensional experience of having the divine inhabit and dance through you. Really, what's happening is that the Divine Mother's highest intention is that she wants to create, she wants to dance, she wants to play, she wants to experience herself. So, the more that you have been devoting to your Kundalini process, the more that the pathways have opened up, the space has been cleared, right? A lot of the densities have been moved out. There's now more room inside of you to be less of you in the sense of your limited self, and there's more space for the Divine Mother to come in and just move her dance. The dance in and of itself, like I said, does not necessarily have a linear human meaning, but it's like you can feel the bliss, the ecstasy, the joy of creation experiencing itself through you. And it's very beautiful because I think what happens is that the more that we surrender ourselves to that movement, the more that we feel how it can so wonderfully dance us, liberate us, move us without our mind. As we mentioned before, too, this is where it begins to shift us at a very deep nervous system level that affects not just who we are in a moment of dancing, but affects our day to day. Right. So, as you notice the divine perfection that comes through, perhaps in your mudras, in your body positions, and you realize, wow, my mind didn't have to do anything for that to happen, that means that now you can move into your day to day with a deeper level of surrender that the same divine intelligence can orchestrate the same kind of divine perfection in the other movements of your life. So, again, it's less about linear meaning to what's happening in one moment, but more so the greater purpose of it is allowing the Divine Mother to dance through you, for you to feel the ecstasy and the bliss in reunion with her. And in a more practical sense, it allows your nervous system to learn that it is safe for me to surrender into the dance of the divine, which means that it is safe for me to surrender in the unknown. When a song is being played in my life and I don't know how it's going to go, where it's going to take me, I can just soften, I can just surrender, and I can allow myself to be moved as opposed to using my mind to try to force and figure out how I'm supposed to move. Does that answer your question?
so much. Thank you so much. So, does it happen
Yes.
to all the people with Kundalini or just for some people?
Yeah, so the spontaneous movements, I would say the dancing, if we're working more with the life force element, with the prana shakti, that is a very common thing that happens for many people as their process continues to deepen. Now, there are different ways to go about a Kundalini awakening where there are some people who do solely consciousness-based meditation, similar to what we do here in Cosmic Rose Honey, that may not necessarily have a lot of outwards expressions of kriyas, but they still have the same ability to tap into that non-dual state of consciousness, the union with the divine, but it's more through the path of the divine masculine, more through the path of consciousness. So a lot of people may still experience the bliss and the oneness with the mother, but it doesn't necessarily express itself outwardly in dance. Although I would say that, for people who are working with the life force element, the more that you surrender, I think that is quite a common and natural occurrence for most people.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah,
Ella.
my pleasure. Thank you for your questions. Does anybody else have any other questions about Kundalini, their journey, anything that you're experiencing
If
before we get
nobody has a
started?
question, I want to add one layer
Yeah,
of my question.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
So, does this have to say something about my future life purpose, like my future mission in life? Does it say maybe I will become an energy healer or something because I do a lot of
Yeah.
dance. Does it say something
Yeah, I
predict
think
predict?
Yeah, I think it's less about predicting, but more about how, as this process continuously brings you deeper and deeper into your own body and into your own heart, it's going to strengthen your connection and hearing the whispers of your heart. And your heart is going to guide you to exactly what that next step is, what you're meant to be doing in your purpose and your mission. And I find for a lot of us, who feel the draw to come here, on a Wednesday evening or Wednesday night, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, whatever time it is for you, to spend this time, sitting with the energy, meditating, developing a relationship with the energy. I think many of us, to some degree, will end up having this energy in our purpose, whether it is facilitating energy healing, activation, maybe it's just guiding, maybe it's teaching, maybe it's through music or arts or dance. I do feel like it's a very common thing that it will end up being weaved into your purpose and your mission in some way, but how that's going to look like, that is going to be unfolding moment by moment and piece by piece based on your unique journey. And so I think what's really helpful in this process is, instead of using your mind to try to figure out and be like, what is my purpose? Like, just tell me what it is. It's like engaging in this heart centered dialogue with the Divine Mother, with the divine in every single moment. So every single day, as you're doing your practice, whether meditation or dance or breathing, it's like practice softening your heart and speaking out loud or just within yourself to the mother to say, hey, like, please let me know what's the next step that I can take to get closer to what you have in store for me. Like, I'm going to tap into my heart. Please guide me to the next thing that feels the most fun, that feels the most aligned for me to experiment with and try out. So it's less about from this moment needing to figure out or to predict what you're meant to do, but it's more about coming to the heart and engaging in a dialogue with your own heart, with the mother, and dancing towards it one step at a time. Does that make sense?
Too much. Thank you, Ella.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for your questions. Okay, does anybody else have any other questions before we get started? We're good? Yes? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna pin myself then. So, okay, perfect. Hi, Marsha. So nice to see you. I'm gonna pin myself then so you can see me in large, and we'll get started on the meditation. So, welcome to Cosmic Rose Honey. Oh my gosh, it's been so many months since we've been doing this. So, it's super wonderful to have familiar faces back and to welcome new faces. So, this is a 20-minute silent meditation where together we basically soften our bodies, soften our hearts, and soften our minds to receive the downwards descending pour of the Divine Mother's grace, of the Divine Mother's nectar. This is the energy of truth, love, bliss, and peace. And this is the mother's force that Indian philosopher Sri Aurobindo wrote extensively about. This is the force that seeks to transform us from the inside out and can catalyze the Kundalini awakening process inside of us. So how this energy works is that it flows down from the cosmos, literally in one of my favorite depictions over here. My poor graphic got all water damage, but you can still see it. The beautiful cosmic rose with the divine honey that trickles down, right? So this is that mother's force that comes down right into our crown center. And different than other schools of yoga and teachings where we talk about, pushing the Kundalini energy up, this downwards descent of the mother's force is actually about opening your centers from the top downwards. So it begins to open your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, and it creates that spaciousness that also then initiates the Kundalini awakening process from the down up. So it's a descending force that then allows your innate Kundalini energy to rise. And so this is mostly a transmission and a resonance of consciousness versus in the KCA journeys, that's more transmission and resonance of life force of prana. So in these meditations, it tends to be a bit more still, more of an inwards deepening journey. My clients were just telling me actually from the facilitator training that they often have like deep vivid visions. They might go on even some astral traveling. Sometimes movements may come through, but movements aren't really as common in this form of meditation, but it's a very deep opening of your consciousness. So during the session, all you have to do is just breathe deeply, allow your body to soften as much as you can. And if your mind wants something to focus on, you can basically, with your eyes closed, turn your awareness to your crown, right? So you're almost imagining yourself looking out through the inside of your crown and looking outwards. And from there, with every breath in, feel yourself drawing in that cosmic rose honey right into your crown. So you don't have to worry so much about focusing on the vision, just knowing that it's happening. And if your mind gets distracted, you just breathe and intend for that energy to flow through. Usually it's quite palpable within a couple of minutes. But it's also very natural. Again, if the mind wanders and drifts off, just come back to your breath and allow yourself to keep on opening. Cool? Any questions? We're good?
Perfect. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So we will get started then. Let me just grab my phone. Okay, over here. So we will sit together for 20 minutes. So just get yourself comfortable. If you need to, just shake out your shoulders, roll out your shoulders, maybe roll out your neck, elongating through your spine, lengthening through your spine, tucking your chin slightly in so that you can really feel that length from the very base of your spine all the way up towards your crown, rooting through your sit bones. And we'll just take 3 deep breaths in together, 3 deep breaths out to anchor ourselves and our awareness back into the body, back into this moment. So sitting tall and beginning to breathe in through your nose. Exhaling out through the nose. Breathing in again. Exhaling out. Letting yourself begin to soften and melt, melt, melt right into the pure awareness, the sensations in your body. Breathing in one more time here. Exhaling. Beautiful. So we're going to start the meditation now for 20 minutes. Allow yourself to soften, surrender, relax, and receive. And I will unmute and let you know when the meditation is over. Starting to deepen your breath very gently, bringing yourself back into this time, this space, allowing your awareness to return. And whenever you're ready, beginning to open your eyes.